there comes a moment, a quiet, powerful moment, when you stop explaining yourself. You stop fighting. You stop chasing validation. You simply stop playing the game. And in that profound silence, everything changes. The person who once seemed to control your emotions, your reality, your sense of self begins to unravel. Not because you attacked them, not because you sought revenge, but because you withdrew the one thing they needed to survive. Your energy. What I'm about to share with you are 7 unmistakable signs that an empath has truly defeated a narcissist. These aren't theories. They're patterns that appear when someone finally reclaims their power from a toxic bond. By the end of this, you'll understand why your silence is more powerful than any argument, why your peace is their greatest fear, and why the moment you stop being their mirror, their entire world begins to collapse. This is energetic justice, the moment when reality quietly rebalances itself. Let's begin. For months, maybe years, you were caught in a web. You tried to understand them. You made excuses for their behavior. You twisted yourself into impossible shapes, trying to be enough. But here's what was really happening. You were being used as a battery. Narcissists don't have a stable inner self. They're like elaborate stage plays with nothing behind the curtain. They need you to be the audience that makes the performance feel real. Your attention was the spotlight. Your emotional reactions were the applause. Even your pain and confusion were fuel for their empty machine. Then something in you shifted. Through pain, exhaustion, or awakening, you began to see clearly. You started doing the inner work, healing your wounds, integrating your shadow, reclaiming the parts of yourself you'd given away. And finally, you stopped feeding them, not as a tactic, not as punishment, but as a natural result of becoming whole. This is where the power reversal begins. Because when you stop giving them energy, they are forced to confront the one thing they've been running from their entire life: their own emptiness. What follows are 7 signs that this shift has truly happened. 7 behavioral markers that show you haven't just left the relationship. You've transcended the game entirely. Sign 1. The sudden silence. The first sign is simple but profound. The narcissist goes silent. But this isn't the cold, punishing silent treatment you knew before. That old silence was a weapon. It radiated anger and control. It was designed to make you panic, chase, and apologize for things you didn't do. This new silence feels different. It doesn't vibrate with power. It feels empty, like a machine that's been unplugged. Narcissists are psychological parasites. They don't generate their own emotional stability. They siphon it from others. From you. Your reactions were their life force. Any response from you, love, anger, tears, kept their inner world regulated. But now you've reached conscious detachment. You don't react. You don't chase. You don't explain. Your silence is no longer an invitation. It's a boundary, a closed door, and they feel it. They push and nothing happens. They provoke and you remain calm. They try to hoover you back and you don't even respond. For them, this is terrifying. It's like shouting into a canyon and hearing no echo. This silence is their first real encounter with their shadow. The insecurity, shame, and fear they once dumped into you now stay inside them. You are no longer their container. You become a mirror, and in your stillness, they are forced to feel the emptiness they've always avoided. Sign 2. Their gaze loses power. When the silence fails, they try to re-engage. And that's when you notice the second sign. Their gaze no longer works on you. For narcissists, eye contact is a weapon. The cold stare was meant to trigger shame. The predatory glare was meant to evoke fear. The wounded look was designed to hook your empathy. For a long time, it worked, because their projections landed on your unhealed places. Your fear of abandonment, your need for approval, your buried shame. You thought their look had power. In truth, your own wounds were the hooks. But you've done the work now. You've met your shadow. You've owned your anger, your needs, your vulnerability. You've stopped apologizing for existing. You've removed the hooks. So when they aim that stare at you now, something strange happens. Nothing. The projection can't land. It's like a key looking for a lock that no longer exists. They try to flood you with guilt, but you're at peace with your boundaries. They try to shame you, but you know your worth. Your gaze has changed too. You no longer look at them with hope or fear. You simply see what's there. The insecurity beneath the arrogance. The fear beneath the rage. The emptiness behind the performance. To a narcissist, being truly seen is the ultimate threat. Their entire identity is a carefully managed illusion. Your clear, neutral presence exposes it. They can't read you. They can't move you. They can't use you. Their weapon has been disarmed. Not by force, but by your integration. Sign 3. They begin to imitate you. When intimidation stops working, they shift tactics. They start imitating you. The person who mocked your sensitivity now talks about empathy. The one who belittled your interest in healing now posts about growth and trauma. They adopt your language, your interests, even your style. It's confusing at first. Have they changed? Are they finally waking up? No. This is about identity panic. Narcissists don't have a stable core self. Their personality is a collage of traits stolen from others. During your relationship, you were their primary source. They mirrored your depth, your compassion, your authenticity, and wore those qualities as their own. When you withdraw, you take that mirror with you. The persona they built from your reflection starts to crumble. So they do the only thing they know how to do. They copy you from a distance. They mimic your healing language, but can't tolerate real self-confrontation. They talk about forgiveness, but never truly own their harm. If you look closely, the cracks show. Their words and actions don't match. Their eyes stay empty when they speak of compassion. This imitation isn't flattery. It's proof you have something real they can't manufacture. Your authentic self has become so powerful. Their only move is to wear a cheap imitation of it, but never fits. Sign 4. They erupt and declare war. When silence, intimidation, and imitation all fail, they reach a psychological breaking point. This is where the rage erupts. This isn't normal anger. It's narcissistic rage, a primal reaction to what they experience as a narcissistic injury. Your independence, your peace, your happiness without them. All of it shatters their illusion of being the center of your universe. At first, they may escalate hoovering, overly remorseful apologies, sudden emergencies designed to pull you back in, nostalgic messages meant to reopen your heart. Your lack of response becomes the final proof. Your boundaries are real, so they escalate into psychological warfare. The smear campaign begins. They tell others you're unstable, cruel, disloyal. They recruit flying monkeys to pressure you, question you, confuse you. Then comes projective identification. They accuse you of being manipulative, hysterical, abusive. Then push and provoke until you finally react. And use your reaction as evidence they were right. Triangulation appears. They flaunt a new partner, not out of love, but to send you a message. You're replaceable. Through it all, your sovereignty is your shield. You recognize these attacks as symptoms of their collapse, not reflections of your value. You watch without engaging. Their storm loses power because you no longer feed it. Your calm becomes the proof. Your peace becomes the victory. Sign 5. Their public mask cracks. When they can no longer dump their chaos into you, the pressure builds inside them. It has to leak somewhere. That's when their public mask begins to crack. For most people, different roles at work or home are natural. For a narcissist, the role is all they have. There is no solid self underneath. The perfect partner, the spiritual guru, the charming friend, it's all costume. During the relationship, you held that costume together. You regulated their emotions by absorbing their pain. You believed their story and defended it. You anchored their reality with your constant attention. When you withdraw, that support vanishes. Suddenly, they have to manage their shame, fear, and anger alone. And they don't know how. They overreact to minor feedback, lose control in public, contradict their own stories. The charm starts to feel forced. People around them sense something is off. The more their image slips, the more desperate they become. The smears intensify, but now their narrative sounds extreme, incoherent. Others slowly back away. You don't need to expose them. You simply stopped providing the energy that kept the mask intact. It collapses under its own weight. Sign 6. They become secretly obsessed. As their outer world destabilizes and they lose visible control over you, they retreat inward. And there, a new obsession forms. This isn't love. It isn't regret. It's fixation. You become the symbol of their greatest defeat. Proof that their control has limits. Proof that someone they thought they owned is thriving without them. Your peace is a constant accusation against their chaos. They begin watching from the shadows, checking your social media, monitoring your life through others, searching for any sign that you're miserable. Every photo of you smiling is a fresh wound. Every sign of your growth deepens the narcissistic injury. They need to believe your happiness is fake, because if it's real, their entire worldview collapses. You may feel this on some level. Strange coincidences, odd messages, the sense of being watched from a distance. But here's the crucial part. Their obsession is their prison, not yours. You have stepped out of their drama. You are writing your own story now. True sovereignty is not hiding your life or performing your healing for them. It's living so fully and authentically that whether they watch or not no longer matters. Sign 7. You become energetically invisible. Everything leads to this final sign, the most subtle, and for them, the most devastating. They realize that you are gone, not just physically, energetically. In the past, thinking of you triggered powerful emotions. Rage, envy, longing, the thrill of control. Those emotions themselves were a kind of supply, proof that the connection still existed. But over time, something changes. When they call you to mind, there is no charge. The cord is gone. The version of you they could control. The reactive, approval-seeking, emotionally available version no longer exists. You have become a sovereign self, operating at a frequency they cannot access. It's like trying to tune into a radio station that no longer broadcasts. For a narcissist, this isn't just rejection. It feels like annihilation. Their greatest fear is not being hated. It's being irrelevant. You have ceased to be a player in their reality, and they are left alone with the one thing their persona was built to avoid: the raw emptiness inside. They could try to replace you, but every new relationship feels like a pale echo. They weren't just feeding on attention. They were feeding on the depth of someone like you. They won't find that again easily. And even if they do, you won't be the one handing it over. For you, this final stage is marked by a quiet, steady peace. You notice you simply don't think about them anymore. Not because you're forcing it, because they genuinely no longer matter. No anger, no craving for closure, no need for apology, just spacious neutrality. You haven't only escaped a person. You've outgrown the entire psychological paradigm that made them possible in your life. The 7 signs aren't trophies. They're mirrors of your inner transformation. The real opponent was never the narcissist. It was the unhealed part of you that tolerated their presence. The relationship forced you to confront your shadow, your fear of abandonment, your hunger for external validation, your pattern of self-abandonment. The pain became the fire that made integration non-negotiable. By walking through that fire, you didn't become harder. You became whole. The true victory isn't watching them collapse. It's recognizing that your inner weather no longer changes with their storms. You didn't destroy them. You simply rose into a reality where their tactics no longer work. You've graduated from a life defined by reaction into a life defined by creation. They remain trapped in endless cycles of drama and projection. But their story is no longer yours. Your journey with them was a difficult, sacred initiation, one that led you to the only true source of power, the sovereign self within you. You didn't win their game. You remembered how to play your own. And now, your life, not their collapse, is the proof that you are finally free.